Welcome back, everybody. I'm Caanan. This is going to be a new season, new background, new haircut, just everything. I'm going to go ahead and start with episode 1, of course. I never got around to making that wrap up. I've been busy, got a new job and all that good stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and do a quick wrap up. I'm going to start with Danny. She's been taken away by Drogon and was able to escape harpies, and now she's found by the Dothraki. They have a different way of doing things, but hopefully she'll be okay and get rescued by Jorah or Dario. But we'll see. They'll have their work cut out for them if they do find her. If not, maybe the dragon will find her. And Tyrion, he managed to find his way into her grace. Surprisingly enough, he came a long ways to get there, and hopefully he'll be able to do something in Marine. And Varys just showed up there, and they're hitting it right off where they left with their silly sense of humor. It always cracks me up. Hopefully Grey Worm will be able to help keep the peace there, and because if she doesn't return soon, there's obviously going to be a fight for power to return Marine to what it once was. But that's just my thoughts about it. We'll see what happens. Then we had that sad scene with Jaime and Myrcella. That was super sad, man. He got to be an actual father for like 2 seconds. It's so sad. You know, that's a big thing for me. You know, big father figures like Eddard and Stannis, and people that actually showed affection for their kids just really hit a spot for me. But obviously things change, and usually for the worst so far. But yeah, he's heading back, or maybe he'll turn around with the prince's head. I don't know, we'll see. And Bronn's in there with him, you know, doing real good. Did get his teeth knocked in. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with those snakes, though. They did go against the ruler's orders. We'll see how that turns out for them. Cersei just did the atonement of shame walk all the way from the septum back to the keep. Was received by the Maester, and he had resurrected the mountain or something like that. I'm not sure what the project entailed, but he's obviously alive and a Kingsguard now. That's kind of interesting. Haven't heard anything from Tommen yet. Curious to see what he thinks about Cersei's return. I know he wants to see Marjorie. Shit, who doesn't? But we'll see what happens with that. And Loras is still in there as well. Oh man, I'm curious to see what's going to happen to those two. And then poor Jon right there at the end. Oh man, that guy. He's been through hell and back just to try to make things work for the better of the people, then gets freaking backstabbed like that. Oh, that was a moment of sadness for me. It's too bad. I mean, he stuck up for Sam. He sent Sam off to be a maester with Gilly. Let's see what's happening with those two. I don't know how they're going to get around those Boltons, but we'll see. I'm glad Sam left, though. So, I mean, that would have been him next, unfortunately. Him and Gilly both. I can't believe Ollie did that, though, man. I mean, I get it, he's a kid. He has vengeance on his mind. It's easy for him to get wrapped up in it. I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't know how I'd feel if a wildling raided my village and killed my parents. I'd probably want some vengeance too, to be honest. But, I mean, there's not a lot of people looking at the bigger picture. Especially Alistair. He should know better. But I think it's all out of spite. They didn't really get along at all. At all. It'd be worth mentioning Master Aemon too. He was a interesting character. I really liked him. Of course, he was the person that made Jon into the Lord Commander, because he put in that final count for him. That was pretty interesting to see. We also have Sansa out there. She just jumped off the Winterfell walls with Theon. I don't know what they're planning with that, but we'll see. It's a good time to run now because all their people are out there massacring Stannis. It's only a matter of time before they get back. And Theon had thrown that girl off the side. That was the last thing that, you know, he could have done for Ramsay. I mean, he has to be done. He can't lie. He can't do anything because, I mean, if Ramsay ever finds out, he'll be missing everything, like his entire being. I don't know what's going on with Roose, but he's got to be happy with Ramsay. A lot of this was his thoughts. He just needed those 20 men. He suggested to go out and sally forth and meet him. This is all Ramsay's ideas and what has happened, so he's got to be happy with that. I'm curious if Brienne's going to make it out of there. I'm not sure what happened to Podrick. He might be sitting at the sidelines waiting for Brienne to do her vengeance. We'll see what's going on with him soon, I think. Speaking of people that I haven't seen in a while, how about Bran and Mira and that valiant last stand for Jojen, man. It's been a couple of seasons ago, but I never really got around to talk about it. And that guy took that little stab to the chest over and over again like a champ. He didn't scream or nothing. But that's a sad moment as well. Bran is in there with Hodor. I mean, curious to see what's going to be going on with these new mystical powers that he's acquired through that guy, or was promised anyways. Rickon and Osha has gone out to a different castle. I'm curious to see what's going to be going on there as well. How they've managed to, you know, go this far, maybe just scavenging or whatnot, but I'm sure Osha is able to take care of Rickon just fine. Speaking of Theon, I'm curious to see what's going to be going on with Yara. She pretty much announced that Theon is dead and returned to the castle to her father. I'm curious to see what's going to be going on with them. And then, you know, Stannis met his demise against that tree by Brienne. That was too bad. I had such respect for Stannis once he, you know, pledged his loyalty and love to his daughter, and Melisandre pretty much said, "Hey, we only brought her around so we could melt some ice." There you go. I mean, that's what daughters are for, right? Oh, makes me wonder if she saw something else in that flame when she sallied up to Castle Black. Where he saw Jon and Davos there at the end, and man, that was a crazy scene there when Davos realized that he won't be seeing the princess anymore. Oh, the feels. Last and not least is Arya. That whole Meryn Trant thing was so satisfying. Oh my god, it got my heart pounding. I was so happy for her. She finally got the person that took everything from her from the start. Oh, that was so good to see her take that. Oh man, that nasty person down. It's so good. I'm curious to see what's going to be happening with her now that she's been blinded. It did say that some masks are poison to others, so I don't know if that has something to do with it. Maybe it explains it better later on, or maybe there's something in the book that I need to see. The faceless god is interesting. You see a bunch of Jack and Hagar people, and at first I thought, I mean, sure, I've seen him, you know, that older black guy walking around the city and keeping eyes and tabs on her. And then, you know, he hands her coin back that she had tossed away. I'm also curious to see or figure out why Jack and Hagar sacrificed himself in order to keep her alive. Speaking of Lady Melisandre, I'm curious what she's going to be doing up in Castle Black. Maybe that's a safe haven for her to be. I'm not quite sure. I think that's pretty much it. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started with Season 6, Episode 1.